What's going on, guys? I am back. No camera for this one because there's a lot of information on just a few slides here. But we're basically doing the North America RLCS Season 2 League Play players. Where the hell did they go? Because everyone has changed teams. There are 0 teams that are exactly the same from last season in North America. And basically, this offseason, I like to call it the G2 sweepstakes, has been absolutely insane. Thankfully, roster lock has come and gone, so players cannot change their minds anymore. They had, going on 3 months to make teams, and still came down to the last 3 days for a lot of these guys. So, a lot to get into here. But yeah, let's just hop right in here and go through the list. There's only actually 2 teammates that stayed on the same team that made league play last time that are both still on the starting rosters, and that would be Fireburner and Jacob from Energy Esports. Sad Jr. got the boot, and he's moving on to Team Equinox, and Fire and Jacob picking up Garrett from Orbit GG. So Orbit, they disbanded basically right after the LAN, and Energy picked up Garrett, I think, pretty quickly. I think they kind of knew that that's what was going down. They just didn't announce it right away. They also didn't play a lot for like about a month, trying to hide the secret, I suppose, which is fine because it's like we've had 3 months, so there's plenty of time to play now. But Garrett moving over, basically combining the 2 best teams in North America from last season. And now Garrett will be joining the likes of Fireburner and Jacob. So that should be a strong team to look out for. Then we have Turtle moving to the trolliest name possible. Etelier. That's where he's going. I think they purposely put it as a hard name to pronounce. So that's going to be fun. Thanks a lot, Turtle. Joining Matt and Sizz over there. Then we got Moses. So all 3 of these guys split to different teams, and you will see that time and time again across all of NA, basically. And Moses going over to Ohana. So he'll be heading over there. And then let's move on to one of his teammates, one of Moses' teammates from Vindicator GG. They split up pretty much right after they got eliminated as well. I can't remember the exact date for that one, but Darkfire and Torment, they've been playing together for so long. Back to the Lucky Bounce days in RLCS season number 1 even. But they finally split. Darkfire going over to Ohana as well. Torment joining Team Iris, which was basically the first team locked up for this season. And that was, I believe, before the LAN. They even locked that up. It might have been right after the LAN. I'm not sure. But they made a team pretty quickly. Him, Lechino, and Squishy Muffins. So they've been playing together a ton. And then Matt on Atelier. Something like that. Here, hold on.
Atelier.
There you go. So that's where Matt is going. God damn it. Then we got Karma. So I listed every player that played at least a game in League Play or into the playoffs. So Karma, she was around for Midseason Mayhem and for an actual game during League Play as well. She's moving over to Freestylers in Disguise. Too long of a name. Probably just going to call them Freestylers. And then we have Lethamir. Also, he qualified for the team, played the first week, and then got the boot, basically. Moving over to Equinox with Sad Jr. as well over there so far. Now, moving on. Now we got Genesis. Again, all 3 players going to different teams. Hell, we even had Vindicator. They had 5 players, and they all went to different teams. So everyone hates each other in North America, it seems like nowadays. I'm not sure what's going on. I think everyone's just trying to find that magic. And we have Classics staying with the Genesis Brandon. They didn't have that Brandon until just the other day. They picked up the Genesis name, Classics, and they will still have Quinn being the sub/manager/coach/support group role. Espeon moving on to Take 3. To replace Rizzo at first, and then there was more going on, but whatever. Pluto moving over to the squad of Selfless, the team that I considered one of the best, if not the best, heading into qualifiers, and then it was a huge upset that they did not make the league play, which I think a lot of people, if they would have, would have easily had them top 4 and go into LAN. So he'll be moving over to the Selfless squad. Then we got Take 3. At first, it was going to be 2 of the same teammates. Zane Jackie and Insolences were about to be teammates, but then Insolences got the boot like a couple days before the roster lock, maybe a week before. So Zane Jackie staying on Take 3. Rizzo, as we all know, moving over to G2 Esports. Insolences moving over to Genesis to join Classics. And then we have Revival. Geno Cop is the only player from League Play besides Over Zero that was a full starter that will not be playing this season as a starter. So he was moving over to Energy as a sub. Hot Wheel Sid, or HWS, whatever you want to call him, moving over to Ohana to join Moses and Darkfire. Then we got Chrome going over to Genesis as well. They were running with the name Toxic Waste for about a week or so, maybe a week or two. So it's Chrome, Insolences, and Classics. I already forgot because there's a lot going on. And then Ohana fills out their roster as well with Moses, Darkfire, and Hot Wheel Sid after all of this. And then we move over to G2 Esports. And I consider it the G2 sweepstakes of this offseason. Not every single player wanted to go there, but for the most part, like, you want to join an established org, join one of the most popular players. Kronovi did his due diligence, picking teammates. Took him a while, but he tried out a ton of players throughout these 3 months before he settled on his roster. But he will be staying with G2 Esports. Lachino got up and just left G2 to form Team Iris with Squishy and Torment. And then Over Zero, the only player here that is not going to be taking part at all in the RLCS, unless he changed his name or something. I couldn't find him. He is retired from play. I'm shocked he's not a sub somewhere, but seems like he's trying to get out of Rocket League real quick. I don't know. Who knows? Then we got Deception, the team that came in last in league play. We have Vince, who is their star player, basically, moving over to Take 3. So that solidifies one more team there. So we got Espion, Zane Jackie, and Vince. I actually like that team a lot. I expect good things from them. Then we got Corrupted G filling out the Equinox roster as well with Lethemir and Sad Jr. Then we got Bell going over to Life. It's one of those teams that's maybe not a bubble team or just below the bubble. They're close. They're around the bubble. It's Bell, Derek, and I'm not sure who the third is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's going over to Life. And then Fireworks, who played a little bit as well. Fireworks and Bell kind of split the season. Fireworks going over to Equinox as well, but as a sub. So he's going to continue with Corrupted G, but he's just going to go over there as a sub. And then we got Selfless with Dapper and Miho. They're staying together. Now, I put Selfless on this because they were the next notable team that almost qualified, that should have qualified. Like, Deception kind of stole that spot a little bit by beating Vindicator. But Deception, obviously earned it. But Selfless coming in. Dapper and Miho, they're staying on the same team. So that's another teammates that are staying together, but they weren't in league play, so it's not the same exact thing. And then JNaps from Selfless moving over to G2 Esports, as we all know. Moving on, we're going to move on to the teams that are playing. Oh, hold on. Okay. Go over here. So here's 12 of the teams. You should expect to see most of these teams on broadcast day because if you have a winners final, that would be the top 8. Then you have a lower final, that would be 5 through 12, basically. So you should expect to see some of these teams. There's other teams that have a chance to bump up into this. I just kind of threw this together for these guys. So we'll see how it goes. Let's just go from left to right and we'll move down. We got Energy Esports, considered, by me at least, a top 3 team. Fireburner, Jacob, and Garrett. We'll see where they land. They haven't been having the best results since they've been playing together. They've also not been playing as much by far compared to the 2 teams that I think will compete for that number 1 spot, Team Iris and G2 Esports. So we'll see how Energy does. Maybe they're taking a break and getting ready to revamp for the season. Then we got Team Iris. the team that was formed first out of all of these teams, Lichinio, Squishy Muffins, and Torment. For a while there, it was Lichinio and Squishy trying out a couple people. It was basically between Torment and Dapper, like around the time that they solidified it, and they went with Torment. So that's a very, very strong team. And we got G2, the G2 sweepstakes, Kronovi. He was basically set on JNAPs from the get-go, mostly. And then it took a while, but they finally landed on Rizzo about three and a half weeks ago. Is when this team knew that they were going to be a team. They just had to work out contract stuff, and then G2 announced it on the day. So that should be another really good team. They've been winning most of the monthlies, pretty much winning everything lately. So they're the hot team right now. We'll see how they do going into the qualifiers, but a lot of experience on the team as well with Crow and Rizzo. But surprisingly, all those guys only one LAN appearance between Crow and Rizzo. And then we have Jay Naps coming over from Selfless, which a lot of people don't know him, but you will know him this season because he could easily be the best player on that team. And then moving over, we got Take 3. We got Zane, Jackie, Espion, and Vince. This was going to be Zane, Jackie, Espion, and Insolences up until, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks ago. Then Vince coming in hot on that spot, which I was surprised that Vince wasn't on a team for a really long time. He was playing around with a lot of different groups, and then it looks like Vince finally got a spot on to Take 3. I expect some good things from Vince. I expect Take 3 to have a good showing. Like, if I had to pick a fourth best team, I might go with them. There's not a lot of results yet for like any of these guys, and anyone could really fall into that spot, but I like Take 3 personally. I think that's a pretty solid squad. And we got Genesis with Classics, Insolences, and Chrome. Another one of those teams that could easily be a top 4. We'll see how they go. They haven't played a lot together yet, but we'll see how they go. They were Toxic Waste before, and now they are Genesis with Quinn. The only other land boy that we really haven't talked about a lot, but Quinn is going to be the sub/manager, which I did mention a little bit before. The only other one that's not playing at all is Over Zero that has ever been at a LAN for a North America player. Every other player is starting somewhere. We got Moses, Hot Wheel Sid, and Darkfire on Ohana. And then we got Selfless with Dapper, Miho, and Pluto. So Pluto taking the JNAP spot there. Selfless was, for a while there, Dapper and Miho were split up as well, trying to find different teams, and then they kind of came back together pretty recently, and with Pluto, with the anchor there with Pluto, so we'll see how that goes. And we got Equinox, Corrupted G, Lethamir, Sad Jr. Lethamir had phenomenal stats week 1 of RLCS Season 2, and then he got the boot. And of course, Sad Jr., like we all know, he's been basically on the top power ranking team like his entire career, from iBuyPower Cosmic over to Energy Esports, so you can never count him out. And Corrupted G coming over from Deception. And then, of course, the trolliest team name ever.
Atelier.
Atelier. Matt, Sizz, and Turtle. Matt and Sizz, longtime buddies. They used to play on Selfless. They were like A-Money's left and right sleeves. And now they're back together with the Turtle. So we'll see how they do. They haven't had the greatest results yet, but they are one of those teams that's like it's going to be a borderline league play team. There's going to be a lot of these teams trying to fight for that spot. So we'll see you going into that. Then we got Freestylers in Disguise, Karma, Nomad, and Sathu. Now, you guys haven't seen a lot of Nomad and Sathu, but they are really good players. And Karma, we saw just a brief appearance from in RLCS Season number 2. They're another one of those teams that a lot of people might not be counting on, but they can definitely get into league play. So watch out for them. Like, you don't want them in your bracket for sure. We got Eggplant, we got Birdman, Laz, and I don't know how to say his name. Pepiopi? I don't know. Something like that. So we'll see with those guys. They've been around forever. They've been borderline top 10 team, these guys. So we'll see how they do. And we got Nova, Pyre, Prime Thunder, and Double. So Double, you used to see around here or there on Orange Creamsicle sub. And Prime Thunder was too young, actually, for the first season of RLCS. And then he was, I think he came in either 9th or he came in 11th. I think he might have came in 11th in qualifier number 2. And Pyre's been around too, another really solid player. So that's another team to watch out for. And there's more as well. But that's all we're going to get into today. But that's what the NA scene looks like now. So keep a notepad handy so you know who's on what team. And jot some notes down, and we'll try and help you at the RLCS desk as much as we can for these guys. But yeah, it's a brand new season, a long break, and everyone changed teams. And it's not even like 2 people kind of stayed together and threw in another team. Like, of these teams, it was only the notable ones was Energy for league play was Fireburner Jacob, and then Selfless, who didn't make league play, Dapper and Miho staying together. So got to see a lot of changes, and it's going to be interesting to see who qualifies because some of these teams, not a lot of experience under their belts yet. So I'm excited to see it. But hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be doing Europe pretty soon as well. But thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.